the Q&A, I just wanted to stress one thing. Our goal today was not to scare you. China can be intimidating, but if you know what the dangers are, it's our hope that you will avoid them. It's like, if you only take away two things today, do a little bit of research on your supplier. Don't go downstairs to the trade show and say, okay, you only have 3 days in Hong Kong, you're going to find a supplier and place a purchase order. That's very dangerous if you just visited 2 or 3 suppliers that happen to be at the show. You really need to do the proper research for suppliers and even service providers. If you're going to deal with a trading company or a QC agency, get references, really check them out. Because the worst thing that can happen to you is to place the deposit with a supplier, get things going, get your customers all excited about the order, and then it turns out that supplier is not a good fit, that they can't meet your requirements for price, quality, lead time, whatever. That can destroy your whole business. You're done. So spend a little bit of extra time. Maybe don't fly back tomorrow. Spend another 3-4 days. Let global sources help you visit the factories. Really check them out and know who you're getting into business with. As Sophie explained, probably the most basic precaution to protect yourself is to structure the payments with performance. You don't pay the final payment to the supplier until they've confirmed that they can actually make the quality and you've taken pieces from the production and confirmed that it's safe. You have to link your payments with performance if you want to protect yourself. As mentioned, many of our co-workers will be down at the booth at 7M35, but I'd like to open the floor now to questions from the audience, and I've also been writing a couple of questions down, and I'll put you guys on the hot seat if the audience doesn't have some questions. So on that note, we have the floor open and the microphones in the front. Any questions? Yes.
In relation to registering a trademark, how much does that cost? How long does it take? I know in Australia it's like 7 months to get a trademark registered.
I think to register a trademark is very wise to think about it. But you have to be patient because it may take you a little bit more than 1 year, maybe 1 year. Before it's longer, but now they put in more human resource, so it still may take couple months plus 1 year for you to finally get the certificate. But I mean, once you submit the application, you are the first. You can make sure you are the first one to register it. That's what it matters. And the cost is 5,450 RMB, including all the fees, all government fee, and all service fee. And once you get the certificate, it will have 10 years term. Then, before it's expired, you have to renew it for next 10 years.
Where do you actually apply for that?
You mean for apply for trademark? The only trademark is in Beijing, but we can, as the agent, we can register online.
Can individuals, can I register a logo in China, or do I have to use an authorized agent?
For Chinese, yes, individuals they can apply, but for foreigners, you have to retain an agent to do that.
Okay, thanks. We have a question in the back.
So I also have a question about this registering of trademark. So if you are a foreign company, we cannot register it directly in China, or for example in Beijing or in Shanghai. We just need to make it through some agent company.
The agent registers it on your behalf, so you own it. It's just someone helps you push the paperwork.
Because we have started to register the trademark, it was about half a year ago. But we was registering through one agent company in Europe, one of our offices in Europe. And we still did not receive any replies. They tell us maybe it will be half a year or maybe 1 more year. But we are struggling against the contract, so we need to receive it urgently. So maybe are there any any structures where we can apply directly and to check what is the status of our application in China?
I think once you submit the application online, or you can, the agent, they apply directly with Beijing, just submit the hard copy. But finally, they will get notice of acceptance. And with this notice, you will get your registry number. So I think maybe you may check it online by someone to check if they really do the registration for you. Usually, I think 1.5 years will be enough. Yeah.
So maybe can I ask you later for this website where to check?
But it's all Chinese.
Well, I can speak Chinese and I can read it.
Oh, okay. It's the Beijing trademark office. I think if you maybe after you can give
after.
your business cards, and I will send you the exact website.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good question.
Can I noticed some of you might be thinking, well, Sophie said that a Chinese person could register a trademark with a foreign account. I'll just get my Chinese friend to register my trademark for me. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Never give up rights to your trademark, okay?
Any other questions? Yes, we have one more in the back.
I have a question about a general rule. A general rule is like if you order 1,000 handbags, a U.S. attorney told me once you might suspect 2% to be damaged. Is there a general rule of thumb out there that if you order X number of product, you should suspect perhaps this?
Well, there's a couple of issues there. It depends. Electronics, different from handbags, different from glass products. So you should be asking your supplier, what's the typical breakage rate? And then the next question is, do you have export insurance with the shipper? Because if the 2% of a luxury handbag, that's not acceptable in my world.
Yeah.
And so the shipper, if it's getting wet or damaged or theft, then someone needs to be responsible. And if you're worried about those things, as Sophie explained, you have to structure the payments accordingly so that you don't pay everything up front. You keep a little bit off the table, and then if you do have 2% defect, you've got some leverage to make the supplier replace the parts, rework, ship them over. So there's no percentage rule of thumb. In the quality business, how does it work?
Yes, we do around 600, 700 inspections a month, and it's really, you find some factories that, really some general defects when most of the production is not really according to their specifications, plus you find another ones that really everything should be the way it is. But it's not a rule of thumb like 2% or 3%. Like for example, for us as do quality control, we use the AQL tables. That is basically depending on the number of units that you have, we have a sampling size, and we perform our inspections based on that sampling size. So of course, the only way to ensure that all your product is conform to your specifications is to perform 100% inspection, but then that's not going to be really effective in terms of cost, So we use most of the companies, there are international standards. They're called ISO 2859. So it'll give you an idea of what the order looks like. So, but it's not really like a general percentage of how many defects we found.